Are you considering buying a bread maker? Well, I'm Sam Coleman and I'm here to help. Okay, so you're asking yourself, what does this guy know about bread makers? And I can tell you, I've been baking bread for I think it's now 22 years. So I don't do it professionally, but I think I have quite a bit of experience. And what I've found in this experience is bread makers can make some really good bread. Now, a lot of purists are saying you can't make a great bread unless you do it by hand. And I agree. Great breads come out from, you just make it by hand. Get your fingers in there, feel the dough, see what it needs. The other part about that is I don't have the time to make it by hand all the time. Plus, I don't want to dirty up my kitchen all the time making it by hand. Bread maker is a great alternative. So, before you buy your bread maker, here are a couple things I want you to think about. One of them is, will you actually use it? Some people rush out and buy the bread maker and then they never ever touch it again, which is sort of sad. I don't want you to be one of those people. I want you to be, when you buy a bread maker, I want you to use it at least once a week, maybe once a month, but use it. The next thing to think about is, do you have space for it? Some people, when they buy a bread maker, buy the big behemoth bread maker, the largest one they can buy, and then they have no place to put it. That's okay if you want to drag out your bread maker after digging through your closet to find it every time. Or you could buy a bread maker that would make sense for your space. And also you want to buy a bread maker that makes sense for you. Are you going to buy a bread maker that can make a 5-pound loaf of bread and you're a single person who barely eats any bread a week? No, maybe not. But you might consider buying a smaller bread maker. Now, the next question is, how well does it clean up? I can be honest with you. I could lie and tell you, oh no, I've never had any problems with my bread maker. I do it all perfectly every single time. That is such a lie. No, what I found is that if you don't put salt in sourdough bread, it explodes all over the place and it's sort of a mess. So, I had to clean out my bread maker. My bread maker, the lid does not come off. So cleaning it out was sort of a nightmare. But it did clean up. The other thing I look for is I look for those wonderful words, if I can find them, that say dishwasher safe. I do not like washing dishes. Have I found a bread maker that says dishwasher safe? I think I have. Don't really remember, but I think I have. My bread maker is not dishwasher safe. Alright, so it is. I put it in the dishwasher, I'll admit it. But it's also 6 years old, so the warranty is sort of over. But there are bread makers out there that are dishwasher safe. If you are like me, get one of those. Don't worry about getting a bread maker that you have to wash by hand if you don't like to do dishes that way. Next thing to think about is when it's not in use. So you're not cooking and you're not putting it on your counter and you're really just storing it, where are you putting it? If you have to put it in the back of a closet in front of a lot of stuff, you're never going to use it. You really are never going to use it. So don't do that. Alright, for you purists out there who are still probably rolling over in your graves saying, oh wow, bread makers are horrible, they make tough bread and it doesn't cook right. Well, there are some ways around that. The bread maker that I have, what I use it for is mainly on the dough setting. So on the dough setting, all that means is that I get all my ingredients together and follow your manufacturer's recommendations on the order that you put your ingredients in. I've done the whole thing where I put them out of order and guess what? Did not work. Absolute disaster. So I follow my manufacturer's recommendations on the order that the ingredients go in. Then I set it on the dough setting. Some bread makers will give you a fantastic loaf of bread, and you don't have to do anything differently to it. I like to make sure of this, so after I get my dough, and it's like, the bread maker itself, it did everything for the first rise. So it mixed it up, it got the dough all perfect, and then it rose for the first time. After that, I punch it down and I divide it into the pan or pans I'm going to be baking it in. I cover it and let it rise for a second time, and if you watch my videos, you'll see that happen. After it's risen for the second time, then I bake it. So then I have a loaf which is shaped, well, like a loaf, and it comes out tasting really wonderfully, and it's not overbaked. Not every bread maker will overbake your loaves, so you need to consider, read some reviews, decide on that. I'm not doing a review of bread makers because, well, I don't have that kind of money and no one shipped me a bread maker to review. So that's why I'm not going to do that sort of thing. But I am, like I said, I'm giving you the tips that you need to before you consider buying a bread maker. So, once again, reviewing those. Are you really going to use it? Do you have the space to use it? Can you clean it easily? Does it have the settings that you want? That's one thing which I did not mention, but it is something to consider. You need to consider, do you want to have fresh bread in the morning? Does it have a timer that lets you figure that out? I've seen bread makers that you can actually set the time that you want the loaf to be done. That's cool. I've also seen bread makers where you can figure out the time that you want it to be done and then add in the time that it takes to break the bread, and then you have to figure from there, but that can be a lot of math and it can get confusing. So find out the features that you want and really research it. Go online, talk to friends, talk to people, and see what they like. Then go out and buy a bread maker that you can actually afford. If you cannot afford your bread maker, you can't afford your bread maker. You can dream about it. I've seen a $1,200 bread maker that I would love to have. I'm probably never going to get it because I'm never going to invest $1,200 to bake bread. It's something to think about. But I do use my bread maker all the time. You might use your bread maker all the time, if you consider everything which I've told you. Just something to think about. I'll talk to you later, and once again, welcome home. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like. You can subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscribe button that's on your screen. Also, you can see videos of the other things which I've done on this channel. I hope you have a great week, and you can check out my other channel too. Talk to you later, and welcome home.